The story dominating headlines today centers around music mogul Sean "Diddy" Combs. A federal judge in New York has sentenced him to 4 years and 2 months in prison following his conviction earlier this summer on prostitution-related charges. This marks one of the most high-profile criminal cases involving a figure from the music industry in recent years. The sentence was handed down after a jury acquitted the 55-year-old of more serious accusations, including racketeering conspiracy and sex trafficking. However, the jury did find him guilty of 2 separate counts of transporting individuals across state lines to engage in prostitution, a violation under the Federal Mann Act. Each of those charges could have carried up to 10 years in prison. Combs, who has been held at the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center since September of last year, will receive credit for the 13 months he has already served. This reduces his remaining time behind bars to roughly 3 more years. Alongside the prison term, the court also imposed a $500,000 fine and ordered 5 years of supervised release once he is freed. Before his sentencing, Combs addressed the court. He apologized to his former partners, his family, and the wider community, calling his past behavior disgusting and shameful. His lawyers had argued for a much lighter sentence, suggesting no more than 14 months, an amount that would have essentially allowed him to walk free almost immediately. Federal prosecutors, however, pressed for a significantly longer term, recommending more than 11 years in prison and describing Combs as unrepentant, with a long history of abuse and violence. The trial featured testimony from over 30 witnesses, including 2 of Combs's former partners, hotel employees, former assistants, law enforcement agents, and even well-known figures such as Kid Cudi and Don Richard. Much of the case hinged on the testimony of singer Cassandra Ventura and another woman identified only as Jane. Both described being coerced into what prosecutors called freak-offs, drug-fueled encounters involving escorts that Combs allegedly organized, watched, and sometimes recorded. Jurors were also shown video footage from 2016 that captured Combs physically attacking Ventura in a hotel hallway. Ventura later submitted a victim impact statement ahead of sentencing, saying she still suffers nightmares, flashbacks, and fears retaliation from Combs or his associates. Judge Arun Subramanian, who presided over the case, delivered sharp words during sentencing. He told Combs that he had abused the women he claimed to love, physically, emotionally, and psychologically. The judge said a strong sentence was necessary to send a message that such abuse would not go unpunished. Following the ruling, Ventura's attorney praised the decision, saying it acknowledged the seriousness of Combs's offenses and offered some measure of justice for the victims. Other attorneys representing additional accusers stated that while the sentence was shorter than the probation department's recommendation, it still highlighted the court's focus on the victims' voices. Even beyond the criminal case, Combs continues to face an avalanche of legal troubles. More than 50 civil lawsuits are currently pending against him, alleging sexual abuse and other misconduct. Combs has denied all allegations in those cases. This case has not only shaken the music industry, but also sparked wider conversations about accountability, power, and the long shadow of abuse. As Combs begins serving his sentence, the legal battles around him are far from over. If you found this breakdown informative, make sure to subscribe to InsightPulse for more in-depth coverage of major stories shaping headlines around the world. Stay tuned because the conversation is just beginning.